A dream last night. Maybe you had a dream that your dog had turned into a ghost, or that you were walking through a city on Saturn, or maybe you were even riding an alpaca to Florida. While we sleep, our brains create these vivid and abstract storylines that tend to be a little confusing. So why do we dream? Well, we've been dreaming for a long time. And we've also been looking at what our dreams mean. The first written account of dream interpretation can be dated back to 1350 BC in ancient Egypt. Now, the ancient Egyptians had some pretty interesting ideas on what dreaming was. They believed that their dreams came from their god Bes. They looked to dreams for signs of advice, warnings, and even prophecies. Certain people were even trained in this thing called conscious dream travel, where they could take control of their dreams and explore the afterlife. Now, that was 3,000 years ago. The idea that our dreams are coming from gods has changed quite a bit. Today, more people look to symbolism to figure out what their dreams mean. This comes from Sigmund Freud's idea that we could find certain internal problems by looking at what we dreamed about. For example, he thought that if you dreamed about an octopus, it meant that you were entangled in some kind of situation that you felt like you couldn't get out of. Or that if you dreamed you were falling, it meant that you felt like you had lost control of some aspect of your life. Freud believed that you could pinpoint these certain symbols in your dreams to figure out internal problems, and then you could use those dreams to solve those problems. So that was 100 years ago, and in that 100 years, we've learned a lot about what our dreams mean. One main way was through an EEG. Now, EEG stands for electroencephalogram, and basically what it does is measure brain waves. So we used to think that because our bodies were at rest while we slept, our minds would also be at rest. But in 1953, we measured the brainwaves of somebody who was sleeping, and instead of seeing those low levels of activation like we thought we would, we actually saw the exact opposite. Our brain was going through stages of high and low levels of activity. So even though we know all that, people still look to symbolism to figure out what their dreams mean because we don't have a definite answer to why we dream. There are websites like dreammoods.com where you can find the meaning to almost anything that occurs in your dream, from seeing an old friend to eating M&Ms. But something else, so when we're dreaming, our entire brain is activated, especially the limbic system. Now, the limbic system has many parts to it, but two main parts are the amygdala and the hippocampus. The amygdala deals with emotion, while the hippocampus deals with memory. This explains why our dreams can reflect our everyday lives and show our emotions. So this explains why our dreams tend to show our everyday lives and express our emotions. So we can use these dreams to solve problems. One main way is through a lucid dream. Now, lucid dreaming is when we become aware that we're sleeping, or aware that we're dreaming. And we've been doing it for a while. The ancient Egyptians used it to explore the afterlife, like I said. So, in a lucid dream, okay. So one interesting thing that happens when we sleep is that we can actually enter a state of lucidity, where we become aware that we're dreaming. And then we can take control of our dreams and use those dreams to solve problems and overcome our biggest fears. Lucid dreaming has even been beneficial in the treatment of PTSD. When somebody suffering from PTSD enters a nightmare of a traumatic event, they can practice lucid dreaming to take control of their dreams and overcome their biggest fears. In one case, a 12-year-old girl who had been attacked by dogs kept having this dream where she would see somebody else being attacked by dogs, and she would always try to help, but the dogs would end up attacking her. Until one night, she was able to enter a lucid dream and change the ending of that dream. And because she changed the ending of her dream, she was able to overcome her fear of dogs. Now, dreams can help anybody solve problems. Dreaming helped me through a friendship ending. See, I kept having these dreams where me and this person who had been my best friend would go to these coffee shops and we would just talk. And through having these dreams, I was able to figure out what I was feeling and cope with the friendship ending. But you can use your dreams to solve your problems too. One easy way that you can start to lucid dream is to think about a problem you have right before you fall asleep and tell yourself that you want to dream about it. Chances are you'll have a dream and you might just be able to enter that lucid state and control how that dream ends. So the next time that you can't solve a problem, just think about it right before you go to bed. You might end up dreaming the solution. Thank you.